So hello and welcome to another episode of Project Swamp Rat, which is our shoestring budget rat bike build. I've been cracking on without filming everything, unfortunately. I've just been grabbing half hours and hours where I can here and there and unfortunately not filming it, sorry. So we've had a few other bits and pieces done. We'll have a little walkthrough of those and then we'll get into doing a bit more work on it. So one of the things we've been doing is mocking up the rear engine mounts. Made a plate here to go on the bottom of the frame. Made these plates here, and these now are going to have to be removable so that we can pull them off to slide the engine back to get the engine out if we ever need to get the engine out. We've also got the beginnings of our oil tank, which is an old catalytic converter from an Audi 2.5 TDI, and we've got ourselves a fuel tank with our little spanner holding it. Everything's mocked up at the moment, so everything is fairly loose. Made myself a fuel cap to fit onto this, which is an old vacuum pump tank. And we've got our exhaust box hanging in place. That's pretty much as far as we've got. First thing we're going to have to do is have a bit of a tidy up on this bench because it's all got a bit chaotic. So yeah, we'll get this lot cleared and then get into it again. So our first job now is to make a little base plate to sit in here to hold these two plates together, and then we'll make a plate to sit at the back to strengthen everything up. Now these engine plates look a bit boring, don't they? So see if we can do something about that. Now this is a little jig I made several years ago, and up until I bought a press I've been using it just with a big heavy hammer. It's two hydraulic fittings. That fit into one another to give ourselves some little dimpled eyes, or dimpled holes rather. Make sure I dimple them on the right side so that I've got mirror matching set. And there we have it, some slightly more interesting engine mount. Oh, it's not long enough. So what we've done here is we've dimple dyed this plate as well, so it slots into another dimple die, like that. Now we know it's going to be in the right place every time, or at least that's the idea. So we need to be getting this bike tipped up now so I can drill some holes in the underneath. So got to get the front forks off, get the front wheel off, and then we can tip it forward without breaking anything, hopefully. Everything's really stiff on this. It's almost as if it's been sat in a river. Everything's wobbly again. Paintwork. Let's tip this forward. It's probably going to slide forwards off that block with a bit of a crash. Oh, there we go. Not too bad actually. So another handy thing with having a centre hole that lines up with another hole underneath the bike is we can actually use that as a datum point. So I need to come 25mm back, 5mm forward. Have a little sneeze. 25, 25 and 40s. So we've got a centre line here, which we can just eyeball. I'm going to go 25 back. There. 50. I want to go 40mm either side. 50. Now we need to drill some holes. easier. So what we're going to do now is weld these nuts in place to make these into captive nuts, so we don't have to worry about trying to sneak in here to get nuts on the end of the bolts. Take this off and get to the other side of those now. Now we want to be making some sort of pretty plate here now, don't we? So I've pulled this thing apart completely to get the first engine mount welded in solid. I've got to do some trimming here just to get the magneto to clear properly. I've got a little bit of trimming to do on one of the fins on the engine, and then everything can start going back together then, which is all a bit positive. So there's our engine mount finished and in place. I'm going to get some nicer bolts there, but those will do for now just to hold everything in place. Time to look at getting our gearbox in. So after a bit of a fiddle and a faff, you can see that we've got these brackets mocked up. I'm going to pull the gearbox off now, get slightly stronger tacks on them, and then we can have a look about doing some sort of tensioner at the top. So now that we've got a bottom mounting on this gearbox, we need to make something that holds the top part and also works as a tensioner for this drive chain. This chain is actually too long at the moment, so I want it to be about the right tension when it's there. So I don't actually have any idea how I'm going to do this. I'm just going to start playing about with a few ideas, go from there. I've tacked in some tube to bring this vertical tube down closer to the gearbox, and then I'm going to try and make some sort of bracket, I think. So we can see here we've got quite an ugly looking mocked up bracket now, and because this gearbox travels in an arc, the actual hole for the tensioner is also going to be at an arc. So what we're going to do is get a Sharpie, pop it in through this hole until it's touching the steel on the other side, and then we're going to draw ourselves a extract our Sharpie. Hopefully we've got a mark on the inside of this thing now. Let's see. Yes, so there's our arc that we want to be drilling. So now that that's welded up, I'm just going to let it cool down, and then we can give it a bit of a clean up the welds a little bit. So there's that tidied up a little bit. Beauty of this project is you don't have to tidy things up too much, which is lovely actually. So we'll try and get this tacked in place now. That was a terrible weld. There we are. So there we go, that's the engine mountings done, the gearbox mountings are in, and I think, hopefully, that might be the last time this engine and gearbox get bolted in. You never know. I think that's a good opportunity to get this wrapped up for the day and have a good tidy up. So that just about wraps it up. I'm going to apologise for how bitty this episode has been because yeah, just trying to crack on and also trying to film can be a little bit difficult. So yeah, apologies about that. But other than that, you can see that there's been some good progress made, and hopefully in 3 weeks' time we'll be able to get up to the Kickback show in Melbourne. You never know. We'll see. Once again, thank you for watching, and if you're enjoying this, please like and subscribe. Thank you.